आत्मज्ञानतिमिरन्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मीलितं येन तस्मै श्री गुरवे नमः. Hare Krishna. Welcome everybody to my YouTube channel. So today we have a topic: practice Krishna consciousness and get promoted to the spiritual world. This is our topic. So we can understand that how to practice Krishna consciousness, and if you will do that, then how we will get promoted to the spiritual world. So I hope we all are here in this material world, in the earthly planet. So in this earthly planet, we all feel that good, we are happy, we are in well-to-do situation, win-win situations. But why there is a need to go to the spiritual world? What is the need for that? If we would be go to there, then what will we get there? Is anything better? What we don't have in this material world, we will get there. So there are so many questions comes into our mind. So many. Thousands and thousands of questions comes. So let's actually discuss this point elaborately in this video. So myself is Sachiputra Gauradas, and if you have not subscribed my channel, please subscribe this channel, that you would get the notification of my uploaded videos. So let's begin. So in the 4th chapter of Bhagavad Gita, Lord Krishna, in 31 verse, so these things is explained. Nayam loko asti ayagyasya kuto anya kurusattama. So Lord Krishna says the kurusattama, who best amongst the kurus. Who is that person? Arjuna. Arjuna is the best, best warrior, best, dhanurdhari, archer. So here it is Lord Krishna is addressing to Arjuna, who best of the Kuru dynasty. Without sacrifice one can never be live happily on this planet or in this life. Then he said, what then of the next? So the point is here, one can never live happily on this planet or in this life. It means, from this statement, we understand that to live happily we have to do something. What we do for living happily? There are 4 types of people. Those who are doing different activities, doing different work to get happiness, like the karmis, those who are fruitive workers, those who go to their offices, do businesses, do their own like farming. And there are so many occupations are there. So a karmi who has only the motive, only the desire to work hard and accumulate wealth. So these people says always that work is worship. If I would not work, who would feed me? Who would help me? That's why the karmis work hard. If a person, that karmi, when he actually spends some of his accumulate wealth, some of his hard earned money for the betterment of the society, he donate, he give charity, he help the poor people, he help for the preaching of the gospel of the Vedic literature. So he is called karma yogi. So when he do that, then he will be happy. Next is a jnana yogi. Jnana yogi, Lord Krishna says, bahunam janmanam yante ज्ञानवान माम प्रपद्यन्ते वासुदेव सर्व इति समाहात्म सुदुर्लभा. After long time, means many births, a jnani, a knowledgeable person comes to understand that Krishna is Sarvamiti. Krishna is all in all. That type of Mahatma is very rare to see. It is very rare. So jnani is those who are studying the Vedic literature, cultivating the spiritual knowledge. They are seeking the answers what they are searching for in this material world. So this jnani is, two types are there. One is dry philosophers, sukha jnani. Next is knowledgeable person, knowledge with devotion, who actually understand that Krishna is the Supreme Lord, I am his parts and parcel, and I have to serve the Lord. This jnani is the knowledgeable person with devotion, jnani. So when the jnani comes to the level that I am the servant of the Supreme Lord, I have to serve the Lord, then he will get happiness. Third is a dhyani, yeah, meditator. Nowadays people are very fond of to do meditation. If a person who is doing meditation, who is doing Ashtanga yoga, if that person sees the Lord in his heart, in the Paramatma form, in the Krishna form, 200 Krishna form, actual devotee, they see like that. So that when the dhyani, a meditator, comes to that level, otherwise simply doing some pranayam, doing some asanas, following the rules and regulations, controlling the senses, cessation up from the sense objects. Yeah, someone is consistent in the meditation. If unless and until a person comes to the understanding that yoginam api sarvesam madgato antara atmana sradhavan bhajate yamam samyukta tamamataha. So Lord Krishna said, amongst all the yogis, that yogi is the best, who always madgato antara atmana, who always think, who always actually contemplate about my glories, my pastimes, my holy name, my activities, then he is the best yogi. This is the opinion of Lord Krishna and Bhagavad Gita. So a dhyani, a meditator, he can be happy when he will actually attain that position. Then there is Bhakti Yogi. Bhakti Yogi from the very beginning, who is actually practically engaged in the loving devotional service of the Supreme Lord, then that yogi from the very beginning of his days, he is happy. That's what Krishna says here. We are in the material existence and we are in the mode of ignorance. We are actually forget our real situation. We think that I am such and such person, I belong to this country, I have these family members, I have this village people, I have my neighbors, I am very well situated, and I have this high post, high degrees, I have got a degree from the best college, I have the bright future. All these types of actually thoughts is like makes us feel that we are something, we are great, but we are actually obtain this human form of life, body, not only we, all the species in this material world, klesada asa deha, just by obtaining this body from the very beginning birth, then there is disease, and there is old age, and there is death. This is the fourth truth. Already we have actually taken our birth, and many times we fall in sick, we're in disease condition. But next is old age. For me, old age is welcoming. After 30-40 years, I will become old. Old age and disease, death, at the end death. So these are the four is truth. Janma, Mrityu, Jara, Vyadhi, Dukkha, Darshanu, Darshanam. An intelligent person actually understands that these are four miseries. So that's why this ignorance, our forgetful situation, that we are in temporary situations, we are nothing, we are very tiny living entities. One Srila Prabhupada, one of his disciple, sannyasi disciple, Tamal Krishna Maharaj, they were sitting in one room. And Tamal Krishna Maharaj was very, hot Maharaj. He was a manager in ISKCON. And Srila Prabhupada was trying to convince Tamal Krishna Maharaj, what do you think, Tamal? Look this whole universe. When we look the whole universe, there are so many galaxies, so many planets, and amongst the different planets, we are in this earthly planet. In this earthly planet, there are so many continents, so many countries, and amongst them there is a country, India. See, in India, Bharatavarsha, there are so many states, districts, so many cities. Amongst them there is city Bombay. In this Bombay, a small corner in Juhu, there is a temple, Hare Krishna temple. So in that temple, there are so many also devotees. Out of them, one is Tamal Krishna. And this Tamal Krishna is thinking, I am great. I am Superman, He-Man, Batman, like that, no? People think like that. I am something else. So that's why this is the ignorance. Anitya sansare moho janamya. So in this anitya sansare, we are in forgetful situations. We are thinking we are something else. So this ignorance is the cause of sinful life. Yesterday I met one person. He was telling this Lord is very, he is not properly managing this material world. He said, God should know, like He should bless everybody. That everybody should do good activities, noble activities, properly situated in this material world. Why there is differentiate? Why there is people are suffering? He was asking like that. So I said, it is not from our judgment. It is not from our vision. When the Lord says that why the people are suffering, because we are the part and parcel of the Lord, but we think that we want to separately enjoy. We want to separately do something that could help us, that could actually make us something in this material world. That's why we are in this material world. So our scriptures explains that whatever we are in the situation or position in this life, actually it is due to our past karma. That's why I always says this is karma chemistry. Likewise, when we go to the laboratory, in this laboratory what we do? We actually mix some chemicals and we get some result and a new product. So by amalgamation of the chemicals, we get new something, yes, new some composition. The same way, whatever we do in the past, that actually helps us to go further in our life. So that one has to understand. So that's the sinful life. So you may think, oh no, I am very pious person. I have done so many good activities for the society, so many good things, like I have actually donated so much of wealth. I have helped, I have opened hospitals, I have opened schools. Every day Annadan is going on, and I made the facility to get pure water for the people. I have done so many good activities. I am very pious man. This material existence means this is the last mistake of our previous life. In our previous life, we have done this mistake. What is that mistake? Lord Krishna said, Antakale chamameva smarana uktva kalevaram. He said that at the end of your life, whatever you think, that thoughts actually takes you to the next life. So when Krishna explained that last previous life, what I did not actually think about Krishna. If I was eligible to think about Krishna, or some other Krishna make me to remember him, then it would be easy for me to go to the iha prayati tyajandeha sama eti pandava. So I can go to the spiritual world, but I have not done that. I have thought that let me become a male. Let me enjoy more in this material world. Let me go to this material world. Let me accept someone as my parents. Then I could enjoy. That's why I come here. Karmana daivanetrena jantava upapadyate. The superior authorities, they understood my thoughts, my will. That's why they gave me this chance. Go and take this human form of life. But in this human form of life, when I come in contact with the devotees, I decided, yes, I am in forgetful situations. I already forgot it. Let me join again. Let me associate with the devotees. Let me practice Krishna consciousness. That's why I come. I decided, I choose it. So that Krishna gave us the free will. That free will we can actually use. If that free will is there, I could use. Let me rotting in this material world. Let me work like a karmi. Let me go to the factory and earn some money and do something. No, I choose a different way. Same way, so this sinful life actually, sinful activity actually drag us to the material existence. So there are three types of miseries in this material world. We all are going through, like Adidaivik, Adhyatmik, and Adi Bhautik. Sometimes the Bhautik means the materialistic, the living entities, they actually gives us troubles. Like recently coronavirus is giving troubles. Dengue, filaria, swine flu. There are so many, diseases. So many, entities, living entities are giving us trouble. Second is Adi Daivik. We don't want scorching heat. We don't want cold, severe cold. We don't want heavy rain. But sometimes these things comes, and sometimes we don't want the material the catastrophes like cyclones, earthquakes, tsunamis. There are so many disasters. Actually, makes us helpless. Then third is everything with us. Our parents is there. We have good bank account. We have our good friends, good wife, childrens. Everything is good there. But still mind is giving us troubles. So these miseries are there. We are suffering. That's why the Vedic literature explains, they actually try to convince us. If you read, if you hear from the devotees, then that actually helps us. So this human form of life is the only loophole by which one may get out of this entanglement. I explain always that there are so many species of life. out of them this human form of life is rare, and through this human form of life you can understand that yes, I am suffering. Animal can't understand. If it understand that the lower consciousness is actually there, which actually forgets that and makes the animal to forget that yes, the suffering is not there, let me enjoy. But a human being can understand, can actually, human being can actually contemplate, can think. So that's why the Vedas, the Shastras, that's why they, what they say is, gives us a chance for escape by pointing out the path of religion, economic comfort, regulated sense gratification, at last the means to get out of the miserable condition entirely. So these four things, dharma, artha, kama, moksha, generally person who is following the varnashrama, who is just a common man, for him previously people were following this form. First is, what is that? The path of religion. So in all over the world, people are following somehow or other, some extent of religious processes. When Srila Prabhupada went to America, he was preaching. Most of the Christian preachers, they were telling Swamiji, this is our country, we have our own books like Bible, we have our own priests, we have our own church, everything is there. Why have you come here? What is the need that you have come from India to teach our people about religion? And Swamiji said, although the teachings are there, you have the good priests, you have the good churches, you have everything, but we see that people are not following the religious principles. They are not following dharma. Dharma means dharayateti dharma. Krishna says, sarva dharman parityajya mamekam saranam braja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mukhyasami masucha. Krishna says, just abandon all variety of religions. So variety is there, yes, the variety is there. There is one temporary dharma, another is eternal dharma. So temporary dharma is that suppose I am a male, I have some duty towards the country, towards my family members. I have a small child, students, I have some duty. Dharma means the prescribed duty. Whatever is prescribed, whatever told to you, if you are doing that, that is called dharma. So the so-called dharma means which is changeable, always changes. Like student become father later, father become grandfather, and sometimes we also follow some of the little bit like so-called religions are there, kind of faith. So I have the faith that this is the only way, this is the highway to go to heaven, like that. That's why people say that our way, our prophet, our God, our religion is the best. Others are what? Valueless, useless, bogus. No, Vedic literature explains that what is dharma, prescribed duty. One has to do the prescribed duties. Father dharma, mother dharma, these are all changes. But the eternal dharma is muktihi anyatha rupam swarupena vyavastiti. It means when you understand that I am the eternally connected to the Supreme Lord, I am His sons, and that Trinity is there in Christianity, Father, Son, and the relationship. So when we understand, when we again revive this, when we again establish this relationship, that is dharma. Savai pumsa paro dharma. Yato bhakti adokyaje. यहात्मा सुप्रसिद्ध्यति अहेतु की अप्रतिहता यहात्मा सुप्रसिद्ध्यति. It means sabe pumsa paro, the best religion is what? Paro dharma. Practice paro dharma. When you dedicate yourself, when whatever you are doing, whatever you are eating, whatever you are saying, whatever you are offering, whatever giving charity, whatever you are doing in your life, when you dedicate your offer to the Supreme Lord, that is called Parodharma. Loving devotional service, Parodharma. Adhokhyaje. Adhokhyaje means who is beyond our sense perception, through our eyes, through our ears, through our tongue, through our touch senses, through our working senses. If we will try to understand Krishna, it is very difficult to understand. So that's why Swatasara Upanishad gives us one very nice idea that how to understand the Krishna. Atah se Krishna namadi na bhaved graham indiya sevan mukha hi jihvado swayam eva spurati adha. It is said, so our senses are ineligible, not perfect, burnt senses, already burnt. So these senses, through these senses, if you will try your best to understand Krishna's name, Krishna's pastimes, Krishna's activities, it will be very difficult for you. That's why the next line is there. The idea is here, Sevan mukho hyuji vado, when you just start it from your tongue. What you can do through tongue? Through tongue you can chant the holy name Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. You can chant the mantra, and if you eat the offered food to the Lord, like that it's called Mahaprasad, just by doing these two things, you can chant the holy name, you can speak, you can tell others about Krishna's glories, then Swayam eva spuradiyadha, then automatically everything will be crystal clear, everything will be accessible to you, you will understand it properly. So that's why. Then second is sacrifices. Different types of sacrifices are recommended. Sacrifice means what? Like a Bakrid, you go and cut the throat of the goat, and you think this is the best offering to the Lord. Sacrifices mean, in previous ages they were doing these sacrifices like offering the animals, lower animals in the yajnas, and these were actually done by the Brahmanas, the qualified Brahmanas. They were testing the mantras, that the animal life is very abominable. Abominable life means how much suffering, animal life. So if an animal is given sacrifice in this yajna, then immediately the animal get promoted to another body, specifically human form of body. And that animal, when it gets a human form of life, this is suitable. This is suitable. Nirdeham adyam sulabham sudurlabham plabam sukalpam gurukarna dharam. You see, plabam, it is like a boat. You can cross this metal nescience through this body. So that's why human form of life is very special. So that's why the Brahmanas, those who are priests, they were offering the poor animals to the in the yajnas. So these are not actually recommended in this time. In this time, such offerings, such type of sacrifices are banned. But you can do another simple sacrifice, that is Jagyanam Japa Yogyasmi. Lord Krishna says, amongst the different kinds of yajna, Japa yajna is the best. So that's why when you chant the holy name, there is no need to arrange money. There is no need to go for begging. There is no need to kill any animal. There is no need to spend money to feed someone. You can simply doing chanting. Just chant, just speak, tell this mantra and hear this mantra. This is the procedure. So when it is said, when it is said like when we go beyond like dharma, artha, kama, moksha, getting out of this material world, fulfilling the desires, when we go above, then we have to do sacrifices. And it is said that when you do sacrifices, which is meant for Vishnu, Jagyambhai Vishnu, then all your economic problems automatically solved. It is a big statement. How is it that? Just by chanting, just by doing some sacrifices, is that will we get money? Is that all our problems in our life will be gone? Yes. Problems will come in our life. It is compulsory. But to tolerate the problems, that strength actually we get by practicing devotional services, by doing sacrifices. But yes, it is practically. In 3rd chapter, Bhagavan Krishna said to Arjuna, Yagyat bhavati parjanya, parjanyat anna sambhava. Lord Krishna, Yagyat bhavati parjanya. By doing sacrifices, the rain comes. Rain. No politicians, no artificials, no raining would help the farmers to get good crops. No, never. In 1972, that time, there was a constantly 3 years drought in Andhra Pradesh. So the Chief Secretary of Andhra Pradesh, he wrote a letter to Swami Prabhupada. Swamiji, in our state there is drought, people are suffering, we don't have good crops, now economy is going down, what to do? We need good rain, please do something. Then Srila Prabhupada sent, he wrote one letter also, he sent to the devotees to the streets of Hyderabad and Andhra Pradesh, and the devotees were doing kirtan. And later they saw that there was profusely rain was there, heavy rain. So here it is said that this, yes, sacrifices are there. It can actually practically solve our problems. See, all over the world the peoples are now suffering due to the economic growth is now totally collapsed, practically collapsed due to coronavirus. So no one is doing yajnas. As soon as the lockdown opened, people are going to do all the sinful activities. They are killing, they are eating meat, they are drinking wine. Now you just see, the wine shops are open, but temples are closed. This is the condition in Kali Yuga. People should go, rush towards the temple, seek blessings, they should offer prayers, they should tell the God, oh God, we are suffering, please remove us from this problem. But no one is going. Everyone is going to the sinful places and they are doing heavily sinful activities. Then is there any chance that they would get any happiness? Not, never. So that's why by performing yajna we can have enough food, enough milk. Even if there is so-called increase of populations, all political leaders are very scared of the population explosion. When I was studying in my economics subject, there was always this subject this topic comes, population explosion. The population's rate is increased. So our Prime Minister goes to the Lal Killa and from there he addressed that yes, we too, we must have two. We too, we must have one. It is better to remain brahmachari. Don't have children. Why they are telling like this? Because the resources are limited, they think. According to their idea, whatever the resource like water, like money, like food, like home, there is scarcity, limited resources. So they think that we are ineligible to provide the people all these necessary things. If we do not provide, then people do not give us vote. People may overthrow us from our post, our political career. That's why they are scared. But Srila Prabhupada says there are so many lands are barren, vacant. If the people would go and cultivate those lands, the people now present in this earthly plan, like 700 billions, like something like that. So Srila Prabhupada said we can feed 10 times more population in this world, and the Mother Earth is ready to supply. She is ready. If people would do good activities, if they would and they want to live here peacefully, then they have to follow all these things. So when the body is fully supplied, naturally the next stage is satisfy the senses. So that the Vedas has prescribed what? If you want to gratify your senses, then you must marry. Sacred marriage for regulated sense gratifications. This is called kama. What people says, we want to go to Simla, Dehradun, Nainital, Switzerland, Maldives. For what? For sense gratifications. Ahar, Nidra, Bhaya, Maithunam. So these four things is very prominent. They want these four things in this material world. Ahar, to get good food. That's why they go to the big hotels and they eat anything there. Nowadays, if they eat non-veg, then they think, oh, we are very great, we have done a good job. And they want to sleep in the soft bed, air conditioned room, means noise free area, like in a silent zone, very nice skyscraper building, they want to sleep there. Because they are very fearful, because they have accumulated so much black money, they have so much wealth. That's why they keep securities. They spend billions and trillions of money, of the hard-earned money, the taxpayers. This money they spent for purchasing arms and weapons, just to get protection, just to sleep peacefully in one small demarcated country. And they want to have children, but nowadays also people don't like to have children. When Gandhari, she got blessings from Vyasadeva, and so Putrapati Bhava, 100 sons, she would have 100 sons, and she was very happy. The people were happy because they have children. Nowadays people don't have children, they want to happy. They're like hoping against hope. So here in 11th canto Bhagavatam, there is very nice verse explained to Nimi Maharaj. It is Loke Vyavaya Amisha Madhya Seva Nitya Hi Janto Nahi Tatra Chodana Vyavasthitatesu Vivaha Yajna Suragrahira Sunibritar Ishta. So here the word Nibrita Ishta. Nibrita Ishta means from cessation of the desire end. We have many desires, so we cannot fulfill all the desires. We have some limitations, we can fulfill some, we can't fulfill all. So here it is said, peoples without going to any educational institutions, without going any academic career, they do all three things, which is naturally. What is that? Vyavaya means sex indulgence, Amisa eating meat, and Madhya and drinking liquor. So it is said Nitya hi jantur nahi tatra jantana. Jantu means this living entity, the human beings. nahi tatra chodana. Chodana means it is means there is no command of the scriptures. So there is no actually education for this, all these things. But vyavasthitateshu vivahet, just to regulate, vyavasthita, prescribed arrangement. So if someone wants to buy sexual, then marry, gratify your senses. If you want to eat meat, then also there is a regulation. You cannot maintain some slaughterhouses. If you are maintaining slaughterhouses, then it is heavily sinful. And the government, those are heads of the government, they also get the resultant reaction of all these things. That's why nowadays people are suffering a lot because they are not following the Shastras. Here it says, Vibhayagya Suragrahir Asunibrita Seshta. Suragrahi means acceptance of ritual cups of wine. In the ritualistic ceremonies, wine is offered to Mother Durga, and that actually become prasad for those people, those who are in the mode of ignorance. So that's why here it is said that fulfill your sense gratification, means sense desires. So thereby one is gradually elevated to the platforms released from material bondage, and the highest perfection of liberated life is to associate with the Supreme Lord. So that's why sometimes people, sometimes some of the so-called preachers, they advocate that, just do whatever you like, whatever you have the desire, just do it. So by doing that, one time will come and you will be fed up. When you become fed up, then you will be in the position, stage where you could understand the spirituality. Sambhog se samadhi. People have this propaganda also. But here it is said that yes, such gradual elevations is there, slowly gradual elevations. But this is very, difficult paths. These are. But whatever your situation, wherever you are, if you will take up the Krishna consciousness movement, procedures like chanting the holy name, reading the scriptures, worship the deities, offering the food to the Lord, and getting as Mahaprasadam, going to the holy dham, associate with the devotees, stay with the devotees. So this will be easy for the present, situations, present conditions. So that is Srila Prabhupada said, the highest perfection of liberated life is to associate with the Lord. So to associate with the Lord means what? Krishna is next to me. Yes, Krishna is next to me. What to speak of next to me? He is within me. He said, Sarvasya Chaham Hrudisannivishta. I am residing everyone's heart as Paramatma. I am not out. Although he is staying in his abode, Golok Vrindavan, he is staying in his dham, Pandharpur dham, Jagannath Puri dham. Although he says that I am everywhere, Sarvakhalam Idam Brahma, in all nooks and corners of this, all the particles in this material world, he is everywhere. But he still says that I am inside your heart region. Sarvasya Chaham Hridisannivishtam Matta Smriti Jnanam Apanacha. From me, what comes out? Remembrance, knowledge, and forgetfulness. If you want to remember Krishna, Krishna says Tathastu, remember me, and Krishna will reveal Tene Hridi Adikave. Everything will be crystal clear, everything will be visible when we remember Krishna. The knowledge we acquire, the knowledge we get in this material world, the proper sources when we hear from Krishna. Krishna detects from within. Once Srila Prabhupada was reading his book, the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna book. And one devotee came, Srila Prabhupada, you have already written this book. Why you are reading this book? And Srila Prabhupada said, actually I have not written. Krishna is here, Krishna detected me, and from my mouth the words come, and I actually recorded it in dictate phone. And that latter the devotees actually wrote down and they printed. Srila Prabhupada within 12 years he wrote 80 books. It is very difficult for a writer to write 1 or 2 books in his throughout lifetime. Sometimes 4, 5, 10. But Srila Prabhupada books are the best selling books in all over world. And Srila Prabhupada just spoke and these books are just little bit edited and printed. Just by speaking and the books are coming out. Just see the miracle. So that's why associate with Krishna means when we start chanting the holy name. When we chant Krishna, immediately dance on the surface of our tongue. So when Krishna dance on our tongue become pure. Through this tongue, if we talk, if we speak some harsh words towards someone, some bad things to someone, then that person will remember that throughout his life. He will become your enemy. He will go against of you. He will not hear from you. He will think always, something bad about you. So that's why our tongue, when chant this mantra, this become pure. So people are nowadays just remain silent. Mauni Baba. They don't want to chant. They just sit like this, straight, posture. And then think we will be advanced in spiritual life. This is not the procedure. In this Kali Yuga, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama eva kevalam. Kalu nasteva, nasteva gatiranyatha. It said that Harinam, the holy name is the only mean to get out of this material world. It is only helpful for us. Otherwise, if we search different methods, different ways, different means, this will be not practical, not helpful. So that's why Vedas. So that's why perfection achieved by performing yajnas is described here. If a person is not inclined to perform yajna according to the Vedas, how can he expect a happy life even in this body? And what to speak another body on another planet? So this is the question is here. Suppose there is a yajna like Dravya yajna where you donate, where you give charity, where you give tax, pay the tax to the government. If you think just you don't want to pay the tax, if you don't want, if you do not pay the tax, then government cannot construct the road. The government cannot construct a hospital, cannot open schools, cannot provide you pure drinking water, cannot provide you electricity, cannot give you free passes in train, cannot give you 50% discount in the bus ticket. So whatever the government gives us, like ration, everything, because some people paid the tax. So this is called Dravya yajna. So you have already unknowingly done this Dravya yajna. That's why you are getting the facilities. If you not get this facility, not better road, not better hospital, not better schools, not better any loan, some of the like loan waiving, then what? You will commit suicide. You will be so much frustrated, you will be so much in problem in your life, so you will think, no, government is nothing, government is not doing anything. Therefore it is very practical. We have to do yajnas. So there are different grades of material comforts in different heavenly planets. And in all cases there is immense happiness for persons engaged in different kinds of yajnas. So these are mentioned. That's why here our topic, practice Krishna consciousness and great promoted the spiritual life, spiritual planet, means when we practice this, then we can go to the spiritual world, that is called Vaikuntha planet. In the Vaikuntha planet there is no miseries, there is no difficulties, there is no birth, old age, disease, and no dead. But here everything comes. Here everything happens with us. So that's why life of Krishna consciousness is therefore the solutions to all the problems. So in this verse we understand that how the problems we many are many, and if we want to solve the problems in our life, and what to do? Do devotion, practice Krishna consciousness. Thank you very much. So we will end here.